right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Elevate Your Standards podcast, guys. I really do appreciate you tuning in and listening. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, on your podcast platform, on your phone, however it is, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for continuing to support. You know, we've seen a lot of growth. We've seen a good amount of listeners of downloads per episode. And it's hard to do with podcasts compared to other kind of forms of content because it's hard to get people to listen to long form or get people to watch. But we've been growing a lot faster than I expected, guys. I wanted to just kind of put this out there to help, even if it just helped one person, but to see it helping a lot of people and multiple people and getting response back is awesome. It's what feeds me and fuels me and helps me keep going. So if you guys are out there and you're getting value from this podcast or enjoying what we have to say, maybe it makes you laugh, maybe it makes you motivated, maybe it gives you some inspiration, please help us continue to grow by sharing with all your friends, sending it to somebody, even if it's just one person a week, letting them know, hey, I think you'd enjoy this. I've said this on previous podcasts before, but a lot of people are hesitant to send stuff because they know that other people won't watch it. They won't listen to it. That's just how most people are. One of the things that I try to do in my life is when people send me anything, I try to really make it a habit to watch it, listen to it, read it, and then comment back insightfully, send a response back about what my thoughts were on it. And not everyone's going to do that. It's okay. But once you send people this, the ball's in their court now. It's on them to start to try to work on themselves, start to try to develop personally. So if you guys are listening, like I said, if we add any value, we are continuing to grow. And I know that we're kind of just bootstrapping this podcast with no ads or anything. Our growth has just fully been through you guys, through sharing and social and word of mouth. So I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you, and I want to give you encouragement to keep going, keep sharing, keep reviewing. It's helping us a lot on iTunes and on YouTube as well, and we're just getting started there. So YouTube videos are really easy to share. You can send them out. People can watch and engage. Today's episode is going to be focused on 2021. Now, I know we're still in 2020, but that's kind of the whole part of this episode, the whole back and forth. 2021 starts now. If you start 2021 on January 1st, you're going to be screwed. You're going to be waiting months, days, and weeks before you're finally rolling, before you're in the groove, before you're in your routine, before you have everything set out that you need to. You're going to be going back and making revisions. If you start 2021 now, okay, you have a 30-day buffer to get all your stuff ready, right? To get everything set up, to get all your plans, all your standard operating procedures, which I'm really big on. We'll talk about that in a second. You get everything set up for 2021, and it starts now. I like to compare it to a morning routine, right? A lot of people will start their day in the morning. They start it when they wake up. The day actually starts the night before. If you do an evening routine the night before, you're going to plan your next day. You're going to know what you're going to eat, what you're going to eat for breakfast, what time you're going to get up, when you're going to do your workout. And all of a sudden, the day does itself, right? So the same principle applies. 2021 starts in 2020. You need to get everything planned, everything rolling. So when January 1st wakes up, or when you wake up on January 1st, you're not like, okay, here we go, time to start. It's just another day. It's just another day that you're rolling, you're on your path. You've had this 30-day buffer to kind of lead up to it. New Year's resolutions are absolutely one of the most detrimental things to personal development. I know it sounds crazy because it's encouraging people to get better, to make a goal, set a goal, attack it, and try to achieve it. But nobody ever does. And the problem with New Year's resolutions is it kind of tells people, it gives people the attitude or the vibe that you only have to set a goal and chase it one time a year, right? It's at the first of the year. At the first of the year is your time of the year where you should take a step back, see what you want to improve on, make a goal, make a plan of action to how to improve that, and then do it. And you should do that once a year. That's ludicrous. You should be doing that every single day, as crazy as that sounds. Every day I journal at night and I write out what it is that I could have got better at tonight, what it is I want to improve on tomorrow, what were my weaknesses, what were the wins of the day, what were the losses of the day. It goes on and on and on. But the point is that if you are not willing to self-reflect and plan your next day based on your self-reflection, you never get anywhere. You spin in a circle instead of constantly moving a little bit forward every day. Well, the same applies to your years, okay? Last year started, you made a resolution, you made goals. By the time March hit, you forgot about the goals. The resolution was done. There was no more work being done on it. So instead of restarting and saying, wow, I'm off my path, I need to recalibrate my goals, most people are going to scoot by and wait till 2021, wait for the next New Year's resolution. Now, in this year of 2020, this crazy, turbulent, everyone who's alive right now pretty much says it's the craziest year of their life, no matter if you're 10 years old or 90 years old. So that should tell you a little something about 2020, right? It's even more important in this year, guys. It's even more important. People are more likely to have abandoned their New Year's resolutions from, January 1st, 2020, in March or April when coronavirus hit and everything got crazy, job shutdown, lockdowns. More than likely, your resolutions, your goals of personal development, fitness, mental health, your job, boom, out the window. Most likely, you were just focused on getting by. right? You were focused on making sure that the next day your family was okay and making sure that nobody was going to have a mental breakdown in your house, making sure that your job was going to be there when everything came back. So it's hard to focus on personal development. It's hard to focus on getting better every day when there's a huge life event going on, something as monumental as a coronavirus. But that's not an excuse to now let these years that come after suffer from 2020. The virus is still here. That's fine. It depends on what news channel you watch, right? But it doesn't matter, because no matter what the news says, nobody can control how hard you work. Nobody can control your willingness to grow, your ability, and your decision that you can make to become a better person this year, today, this week, this month. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle of 2020 or whether it's 2 years down the line. Nobody can control that decision but you. Okay? No news network, no narrative, no city official can control the decision that you want to get better, that you want to improve as a person. Only you can control that decision. So forget about 2020. Stop using 2020 as this excuse. 2020 is not the reason all your problems are here. 2020 may have slowed you down. It may have shown you a new perspective. It may have thrown stuff at you that you've never thought that you'd have to deal with in your life. But more than likely, there's problems that you have right now that existed before 2020. And they'll exist after 2020 unless you go out of your way to fix them. Unless you go out of your way to change your habits, change your behavior, change the way that your mind works, and change the way that your habits operate, you are going to continue to run the same circles, continue to run the same cycles, and fall into the same problems that you did before 2020. I understand 2020 was rough. I know it had a negative impact on a lot of people. But there were problems before and they will be there after, so you need to address them. And I don't mean addressing them by writing them down on a piece of paper. I mean deciding what kind of person is going to be able to conquer these problems and then morphing yourself, transforming yourself into that person, into that kind of person. So as I talked about, on a nightly routine or on a daily basis, this process of planning out starts the night before. When you're doing a nightly journal, you plan out your next day's workout, your next day's breakfast, your next day's schedule. Well, let's do that for 2021 now. Let's take these 30 days we have and start planning. What is our year going to look like? What is our daily routine going to look like every single day for this year? What are our goals business-wise? What is our goals personally? What is our goals with our relationships? And then instead of waiting for January 1st to put that plan into action, put it into action tomorrow. It might not be perfect. You might have to work your way up to where you're fully rolling, but that's fine. You have 30 days to do it. As compared to having one day to do it, January 1st starts, and now on January 6th or 7th, you have a bad day. You have an off day because you're not used to this kind of consistency. And so now you feel bad about yourself and you abandon your New Year's resolution on the 8th of January. Let's give ourselves a buffer. Let's give ourselves some time to make sure that we get our goals, we get our routines, and we get a very clear, concise image of where we want to be in life and how we're going to get there in life, okay? And how we're going to get there, especially in 2021, is by working harder than we ever thought that we could on a consistent basis. Now, that's not an answer that a lot of people want to hear. When they hear, oh, you're going to have to work hard on a consistent basis, actually, you're going to have to work harder than you've ever worked in your life, it's discouraging, right? People get depressed. People start to fall back into themselves and think, well, that's for other people to do. I'm comfortable in my life. Don't you want to see what awaits you on the other side of not giving up? Don't you want to see what awaits you after you're able to put in that hard work on a consistent basis and that discipline? Because in order to do that, in order to work hard on a consistent basis, it takes an ungodly amount of discipline, okay? Discipline every single day. And discipline isn't something that you have and as you use it, it slowly starts to decrease. Discipline increases as you use it, right? It's not a depletable resource. It's not like a glass of water. Oh, I drank some discipline, now I have less. No, you add to it as you continue to exercise discipline in your life. Every single time you exercise discipline, you are adding to your reservoir, your reserve of discipline to use in the future. It builds up. That is the beauty of momentum. There's two types of things in this life. There are goods, there are emotions, there are skills that the more you use, the less you can do. It drains you slowly. For instance, even just your energy, your ability to write. I am a writer. I love to write. After I've written 1,000 to 2,000 words, my writing decreases. I get worse until I'm able to recharge that battery. Discipline's the opposite. If I start being disciplined in the morning and I get more and more disciplined, by the night I'm ready to do whatever. By the next week, the next month, discipline builds. Discipline is something that gains momentum as you add to it. It is important that you realize that so you can start to execute discipline immediately. People think that discipline's like energy, like, oh, I should wake up and I'm just not a disciplined person. I don't feel it today. Nobody feels it. Everybody starts at zero. when it comes to discipline. You have to add to it. Compared to energy, everybody starts at 100 and it slowly depletes throughout your day. Discipline, you start at 0, and by days, weeks, months, years, you have to add to your reservoir of discipline so you can tap into it when you need it. This is important stuff, guys. 2021 is coming. Doesn't matter if you want it to come, if you're standing still, if you're making moves. Doesn't matter what you do. 2021 is coming no matter what. So what are you going to do to prepare yourself for that, right? 2020 is over. You can say that it has 30 more days, but 2020 is over. It is time right now to start looking forward to 2021. Plan your routines, plan your habits, plan your resolutions. Start to get a habit of checking with yourself on a daily basis for what you did good, what you did bad, and what you can improve on. If you guys attack this next year with this intensity, with this vibe, with this kind of community of we are going to go get it, we are going to go achieve our goals, and we're going to crush them, I guarantee we will all be successful, guys, because all success is accomplishing goals that you set for yourself. That's all it is. Everybody has different goals they set for themselves, so everybody has a different level of success. But all success is accomplishing goals you set for yourself. So in 2021, we all have the chance to be successful. Every single one of us has the chance to be successful in 2021. So are you going to be successful, or are you going to continue to let whatever happened in 2020 linger on for years and days and weeks and however long you wanted to continue to weigh down on your success, or are you going to fight through it and be stronger? 2021 is coming, guys. Live discipline, elevate your standards. You can check me out on Instagram at Derek Lauder, but I really just want you to share this podcast. That's all I want is you to share this podcast, help somebody else get a kickstart into 2021. Thank you, guys. Live discipline. I'll see you back later this week.